Hello everyone, Teacup Tempest here, and today I'm going to be making a build that was in my original Deepslate Village build that I made on the very first preview of 1.17, and that save unfortunately got corrupted and it's now gone. But I never meant for it to live a long time because I wanted to create this village on the server that I'm in right now. This is the GG Over Easy podcast server. It's still being worked on and it's still got some hiccups and stuff here and there. But I wanted to build this in this server. And as you can see, I've been hard at work. And somebody commented a few days ago asking if I would build a certain house that was in the original village, and I said I would. And we are going to be working on that today. You can see a little sneak peek of the preview. I have a picture pulled up to my left, and hopefully I can recreate it pretty closely. Let me get up. Get up here so I can get some numbers on the screen for you guys. The big difference is that the tower is going to be on the left hand side instead of the right hand side. And I don't know if in the original build I included a back door, but for the village that I'm making, I do want to have a back door that goes to a garden. And you will get a nice look at this village coming up. And as always, I'm doing not always, I did do some 5x5s, but in this particular type of build, I like to do my 7x7s with the inner wall. So our tower square is a 7x7. And then on the front, if we look at that front left, we have 7 from that corner block to the next block. And then we skip 1, place a block, skip 1, place a block, skip 1, place a block, and between those two middle blocks there is where the door is going to be, and that's also a count of 7. And then we have another count of 7, and it just follows that same pattern all the way around. I am using a new editing software, and the numbers don't want to play as nicely as my old one, and so I'm going to try to learn how to do that better. So bear with me if this isn't perfect yet. And yeah, now let's go over what all I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using the Deepslate tile for the pillar blocks, the calcite for the inner walls, stripped warp stem as part of some of the detailing, the polished Deepslate stair, the polished Deepslate slab, the crimson button, some light gray stained glass, the warped stair, as well as the warped fence. Let's get going on this. So technically this down here counts as a block. So it's going to be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 with a 5 space here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's bring these up by 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And of course we're going to connect everything. So let's also bring this up, and while we're at it, break out your dirt blocks here and put those in like so. And let's continue this all the way around until we get to the tower. And then we'll be bringing that up by 21 blocks. Okay, now that we are at the tower, let's bring all of these blocks up by a count of 20, remembering that the first block here is counts as the first. And also, this is going to be a 3-part series. So today, I'm building the walls and detail bits for the lower part of the build. And then the next video, I will be recording how to do the roof and those detail parts. And then the last one will be some sort of interior. I don't know if I'll do like a build with me or tour style yet. We will see on that. Alright, let's bring these up by 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. And do that on every single one. I had to do a little bit of correction. Initially I said 21, or 20 is how much you have to bring it up, but we're actually going to bring it up by 18 with a cross every 5. So you're going to want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on the 6th one make a cross beam and do the same here with a cross beam. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until you make your way up. You want 3 sections of this. So it's like so. Alright, here is future teacup to insert this little bit. Once I finished the recording, I started doing a little bit of math in my head about this tower and was looking at this roof and realized it's going to come to like right here. And then I would normally be putting the roof for the tower here, and that's not going to look very good, especially because I do a little bit taller of a roof here. So instead of having 3 sections, let's go ahead and build on a 4th section and go ahead and just do that same pattern as below. And this should have us covered as far as that goes. And that's something if you start to build something like this on your own, the biggest edit I usually end up making is the tower, because I'll start to put the roof on and realize I need to make the tower taller. So hopefully this is sufficient, but don't be surprised if in the next video I have us bring the tower up even taller. I doubt I will have to, and I kind of don't want to, because I don't want it to be much taller than the towers for the other builds. And that's all I've got here. And then actually somewhere in here you're not going to need these. It will depend on where the roof ends up. I think it'll probably end up somewhere in here. So this very top one you can leave completely open without a little in between. And let's start working on our inner walls. We're going to fill these in with calcite. And just bring them up all the way to the top until you have each one of these filled in. Except for here. Let's see. Yeah, so for here, we're just going to want to bring this down until we have a 2 space. That way we have a place for the door. And then for the tower, just kind of bring yourself on the inside. And for the first section, you're only going to do the 3 corners here. And then once you get to the top sections, or the second and third section, you're going to make a complete little box, as you will see here in a second. This way, the reason I'm doing this is I may make like a little archway, and in here could be like a kitchen or storage, or I may even make like a spiral staircase. So this is going to be pretty edited by the time I'm done, and will be better off just being open until I decide what to do with it. And then here is where you start to bring everything around into a complete square, and do this all the way up. Alright, now we have all the walls put in. And this is what it should look like at this point. Now let's start working on the detail bits. First, take your stripped warped stem, and in the middle at the top place one, in the middle at the bottom place one, and same thing for the sides. Now let's take our polished Deepslate stair, and let me refer to what I did over here. So upside down, slab, slab, and let me double check myself. Okay, yeah, that needs to be upside down. So let's get this in here. Upside down, and then did I do them at the bottom? I did them at the bottom, like so. And then I did an upside down and an upside down, and then I took the an upside down and an upside down stair, and then I took the polished Deepslate slab and ran that across the bottom half of the calcite block, like so. And then let's place a right side up stair and a right side up stair, and do the same thing like here, but on the upper half, like so. And then we did right side up stair, upper half polished slab, upper half polished slab, and right side up stair. And it should look like this. Now let's break out these 9 blocks right here. Let me go grab this, and we're going to fill all this in with our light gray stained glass. And then we take our crimson button and put it on each of the warped stem. And that completes that design, and we'll be using that in all of the full open areas that you see here. For beside the door, it looks like, and it's hard to tell from my picture exactly what I did, but it kind of looks like I did this. So right side, upside, right side, upside, right side. And let's do the same thing on the other side of the door, like so. And then over the door, it looks like I did a right side. Kind of looks like, hold on, because it looks like I used two fences, but we're gonna do this with a fence. So right side, fence, upside down. And then I used a crimson door if you want to go ahead and put that in at this point. Let's go ahead and continue this pattern for the all the way around to include this in the back as well. So crimson in the middle, facing outward to get that nice little pattern detail. And then upside downs with these slabs, and then upside down slabs like so. I'm gonna go ahead and break these, and then right side up. Oh, I guess I could have waited to do that. And then slabs, just to make things a little easier. And then right side, slab, put our buttons on, and fill it in with glass. And let's continue doing the same pattern. If I can remember the same pattern. Okay, and let's do the same thing like we did on the other side. Right side, upside down, right side, upside down, and right side. Right side, upside down, right side, upside down, and right side. Let's do a, let me double check how I did that. Yep, right side and upside. So right side up, upside down, and fence in the middle. And then let's continue our pattern until we get to the tower here in a moment. Okay, and let me look and see. Alright, so what I did here, I did a right side, upside, right side, upside, and right side. Here I started with the upside down, did right side, upside, right side, upside, to have a pattern like so. So let's do right side, upside, right side, upside, right side, and then upside, right side, upside, right side, upside. Okay, we are only going to worry about all these other sections minus this bit here, and that's will be detailed whenever I do the roof, because it'll probably come in like right in here. So I'll probably do a little bit of this kind of pattern around, but until then we will leave it as is. And I'm gonna do all the bottom bits and then we'll start going up from here. So let's continue that same pattern, which my brain is refusing to memorize today. I do not know why. So, okay, so this one was upside and that's right side if I remember correctly. So basically did that. Correct? Yes, okay. It's like a mirror. And yet my brain is like, not gonna do it today. Gonna do the same thing here. Right side, upside, right side, upside, right side, and then upside, right side, upside, right side, or I'm getting ahead of myself. Upside, right, see, upside, right, upside, and just continue this pattern. And there we have the first layer done. Let's move up to the second and continue our pattern. Let's go ahead and do it on the back side, and we may end up editing this a little bit because it will be mostly covered by the roof. And I sometimes like seeing this little bit of detail work whenever I'm like inside of the completed build. So this can be subject to change as we go along, but I've found I like to go ahead and do it versus leaving it blank, because I usually end up incorporating it into what I do anyways. And just change it up a little as I go. Alright, there's our second layer. If you wanted, you could go ahead and do this pattern here. Just that way, because I know I'm not going to be messing with this. So let's go ahead and do our right side upside pattern on these bits. And then we will... I'm almost tempted to go ahead and do that way, because I know typically the roof comes out to here and comes up to here, and I usually do like I think it's usually like a full block and a stair, which I'm doing this roof slightly different. But yeah, I'll leave it blank and we'll play with it in the second video whenever I go to put the roof in. And then we have just the top here left to do. So let's work on that and use the same pattern. And ever since I told myself it's like a mirror, I've been doing a little bit better at remembering my own pattern here. And do this pattern all the way around. And if you're wondering why I did stairs a certain way I did, I wanted to make sure the background poked, or the inner walls kind of like poked through in places, and found that I just kind of liked this little bit of pattern and the amount of poke through that it had. Alright, and now we have that complete. And this is what you should have so far. I'm gonna go ahead and work on the doorway a little bit. And let's grab us a crimson door. And there you have that. And then I also went through and let me look. So on either side here and at the ends, like so. At this height, I just went around, and this is where I put my lanterns. Feel free to put them wherever you want though, since this is more of a decoration type thing. See, I don't see the back side. I'm assuming I put one here. So we can do lanterns there. Is there any other detail bits I want to include? I did kind of a, because my walkway had a raised bit, which I may actually do. Now that I see this, I do really like that. That does give me an idea. So let's do a raised walkway. And then that'd give me like a little garden area. I do like that. So let me start incorporating something like this in. And then of course any of the decoration bits I'm going to save for like the interior part. And I believe that's all this video is going to include. So we've got the walls up, we got our frame made, we got our walls up, and we got all the little detail bits. Of course, don't forget to put your lanterns in, and that's this part of the build. And like I said, this is going to be and of course you can do the same back here with the crimson door. There you go. And then like a little path block. If you don't want to do this, you can kind of continue the same pattern back here. So just break all of this out and put this pattern here. But yeah, back to wrapping everything up. This is going to be a 3-part series. And I hope you enjoy this build. I hope you enjoy the little village that I'm making. I'm super excited to see how this turns out. And that's all I've got for you. Please like and subscribe. I post Minecraft videos every week, usually Wednesday through Friday. And yeah, have a wonderful day. Until next time, goodbye.